Jay and Whitey today. Trace will be on Monday. He'll be back on Monday. But speaking of great duos, I want to take a quick look here, Jay, at who the NBA's top duos are right now and whether the Kings' top duo is anywhere near the top duos in the league. When we get to that, we probably have to figure out who is the Kings' top duo. You know, they used to have Domas and De'Aaron Fox. There was no question. That was their duo. The year they won 48 games, they were both all league, so they definitely had a top duo. I'm not sure, is it a big three now? A kind of a medium three? I don't know, but we'll get to that. First things first, the NBA's top duos right now. What do you think, Jay? I got Shea and Jalen Williams with OKC. Again, this is in no particular order. Jokic and Jamal Murray. I got Tatum and Brown in Boston. Steph and Jimmy and Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Admittedly, I'm not sure about the last two, but those are the first five that popped to mind when I tried to figure out the top duos in the NBA right now. How's that sit with you?
Man, it's tough because there's really no two that just jump straight out at me. I guess you got to go with the champs right now, if nothing else, right? J-Dub, SGA.
Yeah.
I like Donovan. I'm not sold on Evan Mobley as being like a top 20 guy. Jokic and Murray, they might be there. You know, a lot of folks don't really like Murray. Don't see him as, in the best light, but Jokic is so great.
Would you say maybe Ant and Julius Randle?
Ant
is so clear. It's like, no, it's his team. There's not a duo there. There's him and then the rest of the team.
If I'm the first two or three that jumped out to me is Brown Tatum.
Yeah,
what you got there, right?
Yeah. And I know Tatum's hurt right now.
Yeah, but still. I hate to say this, Luka, LeBron.
Yeah. That has to be on there. It does. It just
Luka, LeBron, Brown, Tatum, J-Dub, SGA. Those are the three that
I don't want Austin to get mad, so I'm going to say Kurt Warner and Torrey Holt.
Or Isaac Bruce or somebody.
Yeah, right.
Orlando Pace. Marshall Falk.
Yeah.
I'm just scanning. No Portland, no Suns, Kings, Bulls, Charlotte, Orlando, Miami.
Orlando has one kind of in waiting with Franz and Paolo. But that's not that's not one of the NBA's top duos right now.
No Pelicans, Mavs, Kyrie, AD,
Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja.
A
couple of years ago, they were contenders for that, right?
Marketing and
no. Would it be Marketing and Sexton? I don't even know.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Cooper Flag and AD. You got to see him play, right? No Atlanta, no Brooklyn, no Toronto. Philadelphia is interesting because Maxey and Embiid or PG-13.
Yeah, you just
we're forgetting Harden and Kawhi.
Oh, of course.
Harden and Kawhi. We forgot that.
Thank you.
I'm like, I know I'm forgetting a couple guys.
By the way, the Clippers apparently lead the NBA in bobblehead nights this year. That's one of the things Law Murray came up with.
Really? That's a Law Murray to come up with that.
He's looking at everything in the schedule. The Clippers have 6 bobblehead nights this year. Does any team in the NBA have 6 players that are worthy of bobbleheads? The Clippers apparently feel they do. So anyway, thank you. Yeah, Harden and Kawhi, definitely. Luka and LeBron. The weird thing about that is it's hard to argue that they're one of the NBA's top duos, but I don't know how it's going to work, How is LeBron going to be this year? Definitely they belong on there, but I'm just part of me is like, I want to wait and see about that. But for now, you have to put them on there. How about the Kings? All right. Who's the Kings' top duo? And does the Kings' top duo come anywhere near any of those rankings? Would it be, I don't know if it's Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan or if you have to put Domas in there. It might be Domas and LaVine might be their top duo. You go Domas and Debo?
I was going to say Domas and Debo. Man, that's tough because Zach and Debo are right there. Out of respect, the veteran, the wily veteran, the all-star, you got to go Domas for me.
Yeah, and he's been here longer.
Yeah. I go Debo Domas. I'm talking myself into it as I talk about it.
I think they want it to be Levine because he's
I
the one
agree.
that's supposed to be
I
kind of
agree.
replacing De'Aaron.
Right.
But I don't know. It might actually be, no matter what you want, no matter what your plan looks like, it might actually be Domas and Debo. That is not one of the NBA's top duos. It's good, right? It's good players, but it's not one of your better duos.
Probably in the middle of the pack somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top half, maybe top 10. I don't know.
Well, what we got down right there, 4 or 5?
We have actually 7.
7.
But that includes a couple that I had that you weren't crazy about, namely Mitchell and Mobley. So I still have that written down. How do you feel about Steph and Jimmy?
Man, they're better than our guys.
They are, but they haven't played together. Of course, let's face it, Debo and Domas haven't together. They really haven't done much either.
Man,
that's the other thing. You can say those are 2 good players, but to be one of the top NBA duos, you have to have actually accomplished something. As Shea and Jalen have, as Jokic and Murray have, as Tatum and Brown have.
I like Donovan. Mobley is still fresh, still new. KD and Şengün.
Yeah, I was wondering about
KD and Şengün. Don't disrespect him like that, Whitey.
To me, that's similar to what we have in Minnesota, where it's KD and then Şengün, and then I don't see them as a duo yet. You're right. We'll have to see how that works out. I'll put that on there. You like that better than Mitchell and Mobley, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah.
And it's freaking KD.
KD and Şengün are probably like Steph and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take Steph and Jimmy over KD and Şengün.
Yeah. Fox and Wemby gets a mention. Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns in the text line. Thank you for your.
I was trying to figure who to put in there with Brunson. Is it Cat?
Yeah.
Is it Mikal Bridges?
It'd have to be Cat.
It's Cat.
Tyrese and Pascal Siakam.
Oh, yeah.
916 says Luka and LeBron above all of them. Quit hating.
Man. From what was their area code?
It says 916.
323? 310?
No.
424? Okay.
Halliburton, Siakam getting another vote. Brunson, Cat. Yeah. Those are. I think I'd have to put it at least one of those. Probably Brunson, Cat. I'd have to go ahead of Steph and Jimmy, in my opinion, and certainly ahead of Mitchell Mobley. Wouldn't you agree? You're having a hard time with that.
You put me in pressure because there's a few. I like some of the ones, but I'm not sold on the 2s.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost like Donovan and Mobley. I would almost take Giannis over both of them by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Who can you pair with Giannis for me?
Well, Miles Turner. It's supposed to be Miles Turner.
MT?
Yeah. But again, that's clearly not.
Yeah.
It's Giannis and a guy who's helping him who's pretty good.
Right. Brunson and Cat got to be up there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Zion and there's nobody there, right? Bam and Tyler Hero.
I just don't think it was Jimmy there. Jimmy was part. Right. If they had it, Jimmy and Bam, you had something. Now they're looking for answers. I don't think they have a top duo. And I'm not sure the Kings do, but they have the players they have are talented enough for it. But it's interesting. I was just reading, as I mentioned earlier, when DeMar DeRozan went to Chicago, his intention was to kind of take a backseat to Zach LaVine because he'd already been there. And it ended up, DeMar DeRozan just had a fabulous season there, his first season in Chicago. So maybe the Kings don't have a duo, but they don't have a top 3. They don't have a big 3, do they? If we're being honest.
Yes.
And Drew, the Kings have a big 3.
We barely could put 2 together, so they have to have 3.
I mean, I know they have 3 players that have accomplished more than anybody else in the roster, so they stand out in that regard. But is that really all it takes to be a big 3? They haven't done anything, Jay.
All 3 of them are all-stars, are they not?
They have been. Not together.
All of them are paid handsomely, are they not?
They certainly are.
That's a big 3.
Mm-hmm. Potential to be.
As you said to me, having a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You've got things that a player can do in the NBA that are going to earn him money. Points, accolades, a degree of fame. There are certain guys that do certain things, and they are, without a doubt, in anyone's eyes, they earn a lot of money. You also have a separate list, things that players can do that help your team win. Some of the things are on both those lists, but their lists are different. So anytime you're going to invest a ton of money in somebody, you have to make sure there's plenty of things on the list of things that help your team win that you want to pay them for. Because otherwise you end up with a situation like, these guys are really good, but their numbers are good, but we don't win any games. And that's exactly, as we all know, that's what Scott Perry said about Zach LaVine before Scott Perry came here.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't say it all the way like that, did he?
Well, he didn't say it the same way.
Right.
But he said he puts up numbers, but he doesn't have an impact on winning.
Empty calories.
Yeah, he didn't use that term either, but that's what he said. Yeah. So Zach LaVine has a ton to prove this year, I think. And, he's already proven he's, like you said, he's an all-star. He had the weirdest great year anyone's ever had last year, didn't he? I mean, you look at his shooting numbers, they were incredible. And yet he ended up playing for two teams that didn't do much, and he ended the season in a situation where he wasn't sure what was going on, and it was just chaos. That's not his fault. But he had one of the weirdest, outstanding years any NBA player has ever had, which, let's be honest, is kind of on brand for him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is on par for Zach LaVine's career.
And I like Zach LaVine. Don't get me wrong.
I think he's a hell of a ball player. It feels like things have just not snapped or gone right for him. Mm-hmm. Like, despite some of the things that he's done and teams he's been on, it just hasn't clicked. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm. LaMelo and Bridges, Jay, do you have a burner?
You know what it is?
UPS Chris is helping you out, Jay. You mentioned Zion. He says Zion and Trey Murphy III is not a bad duo if Zion is healthy. Yeah, that's certainly true. I don't know what to expect from the Pelicans this year. That's the other thing, Jay. When we look at the West and we try to figure out what teams are going to be worse than the Kings. Let me phrase it in a more positive manner, because that's your vibe today. The Kings are going to be better, almost certainly, than what other teams in the West. It's hard to do that this year. A little harder than it usually is. I think we can say Utah.
Definitely.
I think we can say Phoenix.
Definitely. Portland.
Can we?
Yeah, man, don't believe in that. Dame's not there. He just rah-rahing this year. They got rid of Ayton. I mean, what do you like about Portland that you like better than, beside the youth, you like better than Sac?
I was listening to one of my favorite radio shows today, Alan Stiles.
Okay.
And Kyle Ledbetter. Yep. And they were talking about, maybe I can find what they were looking at. Some people are talking about Portland as a
dark horse, a sleeper,
a potential playoff contender.
Man, I know it's Friday, because they was looking for anything. They was digging deep in the bag to talk. Portland is a playoff contender?
Somebody said that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm with you.
The Kings are better.
The Kings are better than them.
Let's be realistic. OKC is going to be up there, correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Denver's going to be up there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
You believe in the Lakers being a playoff team?
Certainly should be.
All right, that's
Minnesota.
3. Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at with the Clippers? Playoff team?
If they're healthy, I like them a lot.
Okay, that's 4. Mm-hmm. Now, let's start there. That's 4.
Okay.
All right, now you said Minnesota. You think they're in the playoffs?
Yes.
All right, that's 5. Where else you want to go? Where you see the Spurs at?
They have the potential to be. I think they'll be a playoff team this year.
Okay, that's 6 then.
Mm-hmm.
Now we start to look around. Mm-hmm. You got Phoenix. You got Dallas. Oh, Houston.
Right.
7. So now we're at 7, correct?
Mm-hmm. Memphis, we haven't mentioned.
Nope. Portland right now is 8, 9, 10, 11 already.
Mm-hmm. Can we agree that those 6 that we mentioned, you never know what's going to happen, but it would appear where we are right now, the Kings are probably not as good as those 6. Can we agree? I mean, they might be.
Yeah.
They might be.
I think they're on par, and we even talk about the Warriors.
Right.
I think we're on par with San Antonio. I gave you San Antonio. I'm not as a believer in San Antonio as you are.
Fair enough.
I think I would replace the Warriors with San Antonio.
Okay.
Like, I think the Warriors are a playoff team. No doubt about that.
Okay.
So that would be my 6.
The Kings' big 3, this is from Rob M. The Kings' big 3 can at best get the 6th seed. I can't label it as a big 3. They have a chance, but they have to do something as a big 3. Can't just say that guy was good here and he was good there, and boy, he's good. Big three. It has to work together. We'll have to see. That's the plan, is for it to work. But I'm with you, Rob M. But I am willing to see what happens this year. So where are we, Jay? How many teams in the West are the Kings better than?
Well, I gave you 6, and now I say I think they're on par with Phoenix. I think they're on par with San Antonio. I think they're on par with Memphis. I think they're better than Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're better than Utah. I think they're better than the Pelicans. So I know they're better than 3 teams.
Yeah.
I think they're equal to another 3.
So if we're talking about the Kings getting into the top 6 this year and avoiding the play-in, that would be tough, right? They could do it.
Yeah.
If Kyle were here, he'd say, Schroeder's going to make a big difference. They have a shot at that.
For me, they have a shot depending on what happens with the Clippers. Also, I think I know you're a little higher on the Spurs. I don't see it with them. And I could definitely see, a Memphis jumping in there somewhere. I could definitely see Minnesota. They're in the middle of the pack for me. So, but I could see Minnesota playing well and being high seed and pushing someone down. I think the Kings are right on the cusp of 7, 8, 9. They're literally right there. They're playing material.
The way it looks right now to me, especially the way you describe it, is 7 through 10 or so at least. It's going to be really competitive.
Yeah. Musical chairs.
Yeah.
It's going to be musical chairs.
Mm-hmm. And so, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's your play-in teams. But it's going to be, there's a lot of those teams that could be right about in the same spot.
Yeah.
They may be headed in different directions long-term, but right now they're about at even level.
I have no clue what Dallas is going to give you. I don't really know where Phoenix is going to live. I definitely don't know where Memphis is going to live. I'm right there with the Kings. I don't know where the Spurs are going to live. I think those 5 teams can be, as you said, anywhere from a 6 to a 12, a 7 to completely, you're not even close to being in the playoffs.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, and I don't know if you've said this. You haven't that I know of. Maybe you have. A lot of people look at the Kings and say, look, they won 40 last year. Now they're going to have full season with the coach, full season with the roster, less of the drama they had last year. So they have to be better, right? Not necessarily, because you're not looking at it in a vacuum. Everyone else in the conference is also working to get better. So you can get better, but if you don't get a lot better, you're still the same relative to everybody else. So I'm not saying the Kings are doomed. I'm just saying it's going to be a challenge this year.
Oh, it's going to be some work. No doubt about it. Yeah. It's the West is brutal, and there are big names sprinkled all through the West. You got the defending champs. You have the Rockets who are going for it.
Yeah.
You look like the Spurs are pressing on the gas pedal. I don't know what the hell the Pelicans are doing. You got Allen and Kyle out there talking about Portland Trailblazers being a playoff team. So I kid, but I hear where Allen and Kyle are talking about, because Portland looks like they're taking the progressive steps where they get better a little better every year.
It might not happen this year, but it's probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah, because Dame's not there. I think if you brought back Dame and he was healthy, I'd have a conversation. Right now, they're still super young. You're missing Ayton, and some people say good riddance, but he did put up stats. He did give you a double-double. That's not going to be easy just to, flip a switch and turn a blind eye to and say, okay, well, they're not going to be able to bring it. So I just think they're in a crop of Dallas, San Antonio, Memphis. This is my squad, and Phoenix. I think they're right there.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there. Any of these seasons could go very well. Any of these seasons could go poorly.
Mm-hmm. And you know that there's going to be a handful of these teams, to your point, some are going to surprise us. We don't know they're going to be that good.
Yep.
And some of the teams are going to be, they just couldn't pull it together.
Right.
Yeah. It's a big year for the Spurs. We disagree on what they're going to do.
No doubt. Yeah.
I think we agree that there's a lot of variance there with what they could do. And if they come up short again this year, if they're just kind of, they were all right, they got a problem.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely do. They're young, and they're probably looking to take a big step, a big leap, which could mean postseason play. But I'm pretty sure if you ask them, they're 2 years away. They're looking for the natural progression as well. And as you said, if they get hot, a la the Beam team, some things shake their way. The Clippers can't stand up right. LeBron is gone. Luka, there's some things that could shake either team's way when it comes to, shake the Spurs' way. But I just don't see them taking the top 6. I see them battling for the play-in.
So as far as the Kings in a big 2 or big 3, they have the potential for that, the way I see it, but they just have to do it. It has to be evident this year in the way they play, whether it's Debo and Domas or Domas and Zach LaVine or the 3 of them. It's one thing to do things in different situations. You have to be a big 3 or one of the top duos, you have to perform together. It has to function well together. We know that Zach LaVine and Debo, they haven't really been able to do that yet. So whoever it's going to be, like we said, I think the plan is probably for it to be Domas and Zach LaVine, but in actuality, be Debo as a better player right now. They just have to do it. We can't even talk about how they compare to other duos in the NBA until they actually do something together, Jay.
Well, there's a few people that probably, the Spurs, let's stay there. I think they have to do it together.
I agree.
Looks good on paper, but they got to do it together.
Yeah, it's potentially 100%. A top duo.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
But it's not right now.
The pressure is on a few different teams. I would imagine the Kings have a little bit of pressure on them in the form of this. I think going into the season, this team, this organization, they have some top-end talent that they need to mesh, and it needs to happen quickly. If it doesn't happen, as I said, especially with the way the schedule looks and set up, and this just Jay talking, I could see some of that top-end talent seeing the door very quickly. And it goes to not maybe a young squad, but more opportunity. We've been screaming and screaming at the top of our lungs for Keegan Murray to get the ball. If this team starts out not on a good foot, we may be able to see that very quickly. There's the Portland Trailblazers have the potential to be good. We can all say that. You have to go out and do it. Prove it, guaranteed it. I'm trying to stay positive here, Whitey. You got me everywhere with this because I'm trying to be, not negative Nelly, but the Kings have an opportunity to be above average. That's the way I feel. I don't think this is a championship squad. I'm not going to sit up here on the radio and sit up here and say they're going to be a top 3 team. I don't believe it. As I've always said, everyone down at the G1C, go out there and prove me wrong. I would love to see it. I believe this team is a 6 and back. However it shakes out, that's where it's at. They got the potential to do anything. Absolutely. Reality, I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, in a perfect world, the Kings veterans play well enough to put the team in contention for at least a play-in spot. And, we haven't seen it in the last couple of years here, but you can get into the play-in and still actually get out of it and make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's the idea.
Yes.
It hasn't happened here, but that's the plan. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the object. And we haven't seen that they could do that. But if you could do that with your veteran players while at the same time developing some of the young guys along the way, that would be perfect. It's just hard to do both at the same time. 100%. It's really tricky.
Yeah, as you talked about last year, thread the needle.
Yeah.
This needle,